Well, we're talking about cold temperatures across the low country this weekend. So why am I holding a pool noodle? Hey, good morning. I'm Walker Simmons. Coming up, I'm going to tell you how something as simple as this could save you from thousands of dollars in damages due to freezing pipes. We are one day away from the greatest 2 minutes in sports, the 150th Kentucky Derby. This morning, we're talking about everything you need to know on having a great Kentucky Derby party, as well as some of the history behind the race. I got a live interview you're not going to want to miss coming up.
Someone claiming to be Dominion called him asking for money.
Yeah, Riley, Octavia, it's a scary call to get, and they say it's easy to fall for. Well, if you head to an Isle of Palms beach entrance, you're going to see a sign like this saying, "Caution, coyotes may be in the area," as officials say coyotes have been making their dens in the dunes and the areas surrounding the beach, and they say they've seen an uptick in sightings. In fact, leading up to yesterday's meeting, they saw 5 different coyote sightings.
And Walker, we are Derby ready here in the News 2 studios.
Hey, Riley, Octavia, good morning. First of all, love the attire. I'm kind of doing a little bit the same thing with the bow tie. We're all dressed up this morning. I'm here with Gary and Sherry Ray here in Mount Pleasant, where you guys have been hosting a party at your house for over a decade. Not to mention you grew up in Louisville, so you have a long history of this race. Talk to me, first of all, let's talk about what's on this table here. What makes a great Derby party? Well, all right, that's incredible. We have so much we could talk about, just so much in store. But hey, I'll send it back to you guys in studio. I love the attire, but guys, you telling me I'm working right now? I'm having an incredible morning out here. Be one of the first groups to go through one of their newest attractions. Let me tell you, I was terrified. My heart right now is still racing. Take a look at this. Heart is racing right now.
Oh my God! That wasn't even a real person. We have no idea what's coming out of what. I'm like, the fact that I don't know what's happening is making me more paranoid. Keep going.
Riley, good morning. Some very special guests this morning. I'm here with JJ Steele and Rapunzel and Charming. Okay, so we're talking about the month of August, especially with Clear the Shelters. Why is it important, especially this year? Would you believe me if I told you I was sitting inside a school bus right now? The bus belongs to these 3, Davis Linscott, Josh Haydad, and Kane Compton. See, they all met at Clemson, and after graduating, they spent the last year living out of this renovated school bus, traveling around the United States.
So we bought this school bus, just a regular stock school bus, back in January of 2022, and just got it on an online auction.
But before they could travel around the country, they first had to do some remodeling.
We've got a ridiculous amount of counter space for a school bus.
This is where we sleep. So we have 3 bunk beds with awesome mattresses, and we also have curtains that my mom made for us.
These hooks right here, so we can hang a hammock all through here. So sometimes you'll be driving, be hanging a hammock and swinging back and forth.
After 9 months of work, Josh, Davis, and Kane were ready to start their year of travel.
So we started in South Carolina, and we pretty much did a big clockwise loop around the country.
Now you may be asking yourself, why would 3 guys pile into a school bus and travel the U.S. for a year? Well, their reason is found in the title of their bus, the Lost Bus.
So LOST is an acronym for Lending Our Services Traveling, and essentially we go to different communities, different towns each week and see how we can help. So sometimes that's helping out after a natural disaster, sometimes it's partnering with local nonprofits or churches, or sometimes it's just helping out a family or people in need.
So for the last year, every few weeks, a big blue school bus rolled into a different town or city across the nation, all with one goal in mind: to help.
We had like a series of 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks where we were building chicken coops, and like we brought a woman to tears in Arizona because we made a chicken coop for her.
Right when we finished the bus in October was the same time that Hurricane Ian had just hit Florida. And so the timing worked out that they needed hands to help out. And so we were able to go straight down to Florida and help out there for a few weeks and really fill a need.
So for nothing in return, they lended their services, and now a trail of their impact can be found on the ceiling of their bus. The names of the people helped by the Lost Bus.
I was blown away with how much I could get to know somebody in just a week, just because we were serving next to each other.
There's good people everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. There's good people doing amazing things in every corner of this country.
This is the Lost Bus.
And I'm Walker Simmons. You can count on News 2. It's a scary call to get, and one that could be easy to fall for. Roy Neal told me that someone claiming to be Dominion Energy called his business on Wednesday. Well, the person on the other end of the phone claimed that Neal was 4 months late on payments and was threatening to shut his power off if he didn't pay them that same day. But it wasn't until Neil called the number back that he realized how similar the scam call sounded to the real thing.
It sounded exactly like the Dominion Energy main number. So, the auto dial, push 1 for billing, push 2 for emergency gas. They asked me for our street address, which is normal. I gave it to them, and they pulled up my account number, which I didn't know at the time because I didn't have my billing and stuff like that. And they went on to tell me that they had not collected payments since February and that our power was going to get cut off.
Neil then told the person claiming to be Dominion Energy that he would call them back. But this time I was there with Neil and was planning on listening in on the call. But look what happens when Neil calls back not even a day later.
The number you have dialed is not in service. Please check the number and try again.
The phone number that claimed to be Dominion Energy was disconnected. Neil never paid the scam callers, and when he called Dominion's actual number, they informed him he made all his payments. I spoke with Dominion Energy officials, and they say this type of thing happens a lot. They shared these warning signs to tell if the call is a scam. A main way to know if it's a scam is if the caller threatens to shut off your utilities unless a payment is made that day. Officials say those callers will try to be sympathetic to earn your trust. Also, if the caller is requesting payments over the phone, whether it's through credit card, wire transfer, or even gift cards, officials say you should hang up immediately. It's also important to note many of the callers are targeting small businesses. Well, for a full list of how to protect yourself from scam calls, you can visit our website, counton2.com. In studio, Walker Simmons, Count on 2.
I tell people they're a miracle. Just to be on this earth, you had to be a miracle.
This is Wilbur Garner, the Mr. Rogers of the Low Country. I actually just came up with that title, but I think it suits him well.
You're in a half inch of water and you think you're going to drown. That's just the way the world goes round,
Let's back up. Every week when looking for stories, I come across Wilbur's daily positive posts online. He posts a picture of the sunset and his dog, Maddie.
Come here.
So one day I asked if I could join him on his daily sunrise walks. He said yes. Next thing I knew, I was waking up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday.
And I said, God, I see a lot of sunsets, but I don't see many really pretty sunrises, About a minute later, I looked up and the sky turned pink, red. I mean, it was gorgeous. He was like tapping me on the shoulder. Hey, take a look at this one,
It was so worth it.
It's just amazing sometimes what God will do,
We talked shop about his years playing basketball.
I could grab the rim, but I couldn't dunk it. I couldn't hold the ball and dunk it. I couldn't get up that high.
I watched him take his pictures of the sunrise, which, by the way, Wilbur's a celebrity himself, getting hundreds of likes and comments on his next door posts. Now, he tells me he used to post on Facebook.
And somebody hacked into my Facebook and took it over.
He also hands out treats. Dogs flock to him like I flock to those sample stands at a grocery store.
How you doing, man? How you doing? You want something?
And before we parted ways, he gave me and anyone watching some words for the road.
Be thankful for every one of the blessings that you have. And, try to be a blessing to somebody else. Hey, I'm Wilbur Garner.
I'm Walker Simmons, and whether it's for just a good picture of a sunset or a morning here with Maddie Girl, you can count on News 2.
Here come Big Fuzz.
Big Fuzz. What up, Big Fuzz?